Buddha once said, "We are what we think about most," and that's because thoughts become things. It is so important that you and your child develop positive thinking. The power and the importance of positive thinking is instrumental to success in anyone, not just yourself or your child, and anyone to succeed in life. I'm your host, Dr. Jamie Schwandt, and our show is going to provide you some tools, inspiration, and motivation to success. We're going to provide you a show that will truly help you to dream big, think positive, and take action. We're going to bring you interviews from people across this great state of Kansas. We're going to bring you leaders from this community. We're going to bring you teachers, coaches. We're going to bring you military leaders and some great people to inspire and motivate you. So please stay tuned. We have a great show for you today.
Every individual has value and the right to be treated with dignity. Developmental Services of Northwest Kansas support persons with intellectual and developmental disabilities and are dedicated to the worth of each person. To help DSNBK give the best of a vast array of services, we invite you to log on to our Plan Giving website. It features valuable ideas on ways to plan for the future and receive benefits. Lives are transformed by your support of people with disabilities for generations to come. Developmental Services of Northwest Kansas.
Hi, I'm Seth Castle, owner of Castle Books Publishing here in Hays, Kansas. I've purchased advertising time here on Eagle Community Television to help support veteran-owned small businesses in our community. So if you're a veteran-owned small business and would be interested in using this advertising time, please go to my website, www.castlebooks.com, and click on the Veterans Outreach tab. Thank you for your time and thank you for your service.
He cries in the corner where nobody sees. He's the kid with the story no one would believe. He prays every night, "Dear God, won't you please, could you send someone here who will love me?"
Help a child know they're special. Adopt. Call or go online to learn how.
Who will love me for me?
Simon's tax, accounting, and financial planners have been trusted by their clients for decades. At Simon's, they take a holistic approach with a comprehensive portfolio of services for their clients. Make your appointment today and enjoy a better tomorrow for you and your family. Simon's Tax, Accounting, and Financial Planners, 1007 Cody Avenue in Hays.
Welcome everyone to Dreaming Big with Dr. Schwandt. I'm your host, Dr. Jamie Schwandt, and I have a very powerful guest here, and I mean that literally, Bubba Dowling with the Department for Children and Families. Now, Bubba, can you tell us a little bit about what you do right now for DCF?
Sure, of course. I'm with the Faith-Based Community Initiative, and right now I'm the Strategic Partnership Liaison. My basic position, I travel the state finding community organizations, churches, faith-based organizations, and let them aware of the need of foster homes, adoptive homes, and also mentors for youth aging out of foster care.
And you know, I didn't even welcome you to the show. You know, you got me so intimidated now. I'm sitting next to you was telling me before the show that you were sixth
in the world in 2012 in the bench press.
Wow, 700 pounds?
744.
I weigh $160, so. No, great stuff. So,
yeah, man.
And the faith-based initiative, that's very cool as well. And you mentioned you're ordained as well.
I am an ordained pastor, yep.
Wow,
and I did travel the world as a missionary for a while. Yep.
So do you intimidate people in your church or anything?
I try not to, no.
Yeah.
I actually don't have my own church. I just I just do what I'm doing now. It's pretty good work.
Oh, that's really very interesting.
For sure.
If you could tell me a little more about Bubba and a little more about what inspired you to do what you do and what motivated and inspired you to get in the profession you're in now.
Of course. Honestly, for me, growing up, I did not have the greatest relationship with my family, with my biological family. We stayed intact. So I have some trauma, I have some scars of my own. I don't know what it's like necessarily to be a foster child and a foster child removed from the home, but I think I have some sort of a sense of some of the feelings. Like I said, I don't want to say that I know, because I don't. But I have some scars and some battles that I have gone through, and for me, trying to figure out who I was as a man did not get developed until later in life for me, because I didn't have that role model. What happened for me is my wife and I got married in 1997, and within 3 months of us getting married, my wife actually saw a commercial on TV talking about becoming a foster parent. Her lifelong dream was to be a mom. And so we just freshly married, 3 months in, and we signed up for the classes. Now, I have to be honest with you, it wasn't something that I wanted to do, but she wanted to do it, so we went in, we did the classes. Didn't get scared away from the classes, even though it was kind of a long session. But it was one of those things where it's like, it was kind of life-changing. Mm-hmm. So what happened was we took 13 and up kids, and for some reason we had 13 and up girls up to that point. And we had 7 come into our home between the time that we're doing that stuff. What happened was my wife was like, she called the social worker and said, the next one we have, can we have someone that's a little bit younger, maybe the one that doesn't talk back to us? Because whether they're foster child or not, a teenager, they can be a little mouthy. So
you said you had 7 13 and up girls?
We did.
At the same time?
Not at the same time, no. In the time that we were foster parents, that would be a rough one. Yeah. So what happened is we got this little girl into our home named Destiny. And Destiny at that time was everything my wife and I said we couldn't handle. Because, I mean, I don't know if you know this or not, you can check off some things. I don't know that I can do that. I don't know how I'm well prepared for that. But Destiny was brain damaged because the mom used drugs and alcohol during the pregnancy. She was cortically blind, which means her eyes work, but her brain cannot function or tell what's going on. She can see light and darkness. She's fed through a tube in her stomach. She had low immune system. She had 4 heart surgeries before she was 1. She's fed through a tube in her stomach. I don't know if I said that or not, but very, very low immune system, very weak. And what happened was, here she was in our home, someone that we said we couldn't handle. And my wife and I, honestly, our hearts kind of broke, because we both lived a very rough life upbringing up to that point. And it was the first time in our life that we had a person, both of us, kind of love us unconditionally. You know what I mean? So what happened is, like, our hearts broke for her. And prior to that, I had a back surgery. And the doctors told me that I shouldn't lift over 50 pounds again. Well, me, even though I didn't know necessarily how to be a man or how to be a father, I didn't have that teaching, I know this Destiny needed me to be the best father that I could be for her. And what did that mean for her? I needed to be able to pick her up. I needed to be able to carry her, put her in her wheelchair, put her in her bed, put her in the bathtub, put her in the van. And having a limitation of 50 pounds, I can only do that for so long. So I went back to the gym, started lifting weights, started competing in a sport called powerlifting, and it was not my intention, honestly, to become a strong man or one of the strongest men on the planet. It was a byproduct of me wanting to invest my life and my time into that little girl who just needed a daddy.
Yeah, that's awesome. So she, and we were talking briefly before the show, she completely changed your life.
Yes, my wife and I both life, and we ended up adopting Destiny. Her name is now Anna Noel. She'll be 18 in March.
Wow.
She's doing extremely well, and honestly, she's the reason too that I went back to school. I had quit school, stopped going to school. I went back and got my degree in human services and psychology. Started doing some case management, some social work type things. Worked in a residential facility for youth that were adjudicated delinquent. But she's the reason that I'm even in the position that I am now.
So so DCF has her to thank for.
She does.
For the position you're in now. That's
very much.
That is awesome. If you could tell me about a specific situation or circumstance with either yourself or Destiny that you noticed as you were raising her or coming up yourself, that you had to overcome adversity or any sort of obstacles. Any specific situation you can think of?
One of the things for me is she was with the low immune system. She got very sick with an ear infection. Now, if you think about it, an ear infection in normal settings is not life-threatening. So with her, her bones started to get infected because of the ear infection. And so during that time, I was not able to lift. This was in 2007. So my wife was pregnant with my daughter Esther, and Anna was sick in the hospital. So I wasn't able to lift for 8 weeks. And here's what's funny, because like that summer, I lifted in a national competition, and I won. I set some world and American records. She got sick. I wasn't able to lift for 8 weeks. And I don't know if you know, if you don't train, or if you don't run, or if you don't do those things, you lose stamina, you lose strength. What happened is I don't know, I can't even explain it, but for 8 weeks I didn't lift. She had surgery, overcame, and ended up beating the world records and American records that I already had, even though I hadn't lifted in that long. So the thing for me is that I share a lot when I go out and speak is it doesn't matter where you start, it's how you finish that really matters. And it doesn't matter how, like, life can take you out of your purpose, maybe get you bent out of shape, but you don't, just because you're bent out of shape and taken out of your original design purpose, it doesn't mean that that's where you have to end up.
Oh, that's very interesting, but well said. So.
And to go along with that,
oh, you got a pan down here.
I have a frying pan, and
you're not going to hit me with it.
I am not. But what I do with these is I do school assemblies, I do inspirational speeches, and I talk about how it doesn't matter where you start, it's how you finish, and that even though that you are taken out maybe of your created purpose, your original purpose, you can still be utilized for something good, something positive. So what I'm going to try to do with this here thing is
that's crazy.
Roll that up into a little burrito.
Let's see if I can even unravel it. Yeah.
So have you been out of shape before, Jamie?
Yes.
And you thought that maybe you could no longer be utilized for your intended purpose. A couple things with this. I have boys and girls. Can you imagine what my boys think this is? Some sort of weapon of mass destruction, I'm sure.
Oh, there you go, some sort of.
And then I have girls, and what do you think they think this is? Some sort of hair dryer or hair implement. But in all reality, so it can serve another purpose. You can recycle this, so it can serve a purpose there, bring some finances in, or you can put some beans and a hot dog in there, then put it right on the bun like that. So it doesn't matter if you get bent out of shape, you can still be utilized for the purpose you were created for.
No, that's pretty cool. It takes a lot of strength to do that there. But, well, we're going to take a brief commercial break here, Bubba. When we come back, we're going to finish the second part of our interview, so please stay tuned.
Learn more about us at januscampaign.org.
Your child deserves to know you care, even if you can't be by her side every day. If you owe the state of Kansas for back child support, we've got a new program that helps you pay down your debt while paving the way for your child's higher education. It takes just a $25 investment to get started. Learn more at www.dcf.ks.gov. Helping you build a healthy family and support your child to succeed.
Hello, I am Dr. Jamie Schwandt, and as a former foster child, I want to give back and help others succeed. I've wrote 2 books dedicated to foster families. Last year, I wrote Succeeding as a Foster Child. This book is a roadmap for success for foster children. My second book, Finding Your Hero, was recently published. This book is a children's book for foster children and provides a positive message for foster families. These books are great resources for foster families and can be found at jamieschwandt.com. Thank you and God bless.
At Eagle Communications, we're proud to provide the communications services you need to get the most from today's technology. Our employee owners make it happen. We're part of your community, and we take pride in delivering excellent customer service. If you ever have a question, give us a call. We're here to help. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Welcome back, everyone, to Dreaming Big with Dr. Schwandt. I'm here with strongman Bubba here. So he just embarrassed me on our previous interview there with a pan. So at least he didn't hit me with it. Welcome back.
Good to be back.
Bubba, that was pretty impressive. So, and I'm still shocked by the 700-pound bench press. So, wanted to ask you a question. So,
sure.
With foster care, we know there's strengths and there's weaknesses, and there's a lot of opportunity in foster care. And for anyone who's ever heard me speak, I'm an advocate for foster care. I want to share a positive message and really push foster care in a positive way. But if you had a magic wand, I mentioned this with other guests, and I know they don't exist. What would you do if you had that magic wand and you had the power to improve something in foster care, something specific? What would that be?
I have a few things that would kind of tie together. So they would be, right now there's about 6,700 youth that are in foster care, and there's only 2,700 foster homes. So there's a gap of about 4,000.
Oh, wow.
One of the things that I do with my position is speak to churches and trying to encourage them and their congregations to be aware of their surroundings in their communities about the need of being a foster parent and an adoptive parent, and how they can impact and help youth that are right in their community and families that are in their community. There are 4,319 churches in the state of Kansas. So if we had one new family from each church, we would be over an abundance of the actual need for the foster homes within the state. So my hope is that is we just need to, one, be proactive and have the churches that I'm speaking to be more aware of their surroundings and help with the preventative side, and then also have them step up for those ones that are in foster care and be a support for them. So those things kind of tie together.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Faith is very important to me in my life. And I know faith has to serve an important role in foster care. I know when I did my research for foster care when I was a student at Kansas State University for my doctoral dissertation, and I found that being socially active was very important in getting them involved in communities, whether it be school, academics, athletics, and in church. So different ways to get involved in church, and I know getting the kids involved in that is very important. So that's something that you're doing now, is you're not only trying to get the kids involved in that as well, or just kind of pull maybe for foster parents, or kind of, can you discuss that involvement?
Sure.
'Cause I'm very interested in that.
Sure. In all reality, my hope is to get the folks within the churches to be aware of their surroundings, and that there are hurting and vulnerable families in their communities that just need them to be a support. I read somewhere that there's some things that are good, but the greatest of these is love. So if we can be a support and be love within our community and show them love and support and care for them, that's what the important part is. So in all reality, as far as like getting the kid, we want them to be socially active and be within their community and be involved within their community. And if church plays a part of that, that's awesome. But if it doesn't, that's fine too. But as long as we get them active within their community, it's a good thing. And then making the church aware that there are youth in their communities right now that they need support and love.
Let me ask you, Bubba, if for foster care, we mentioned the magic wand.
Yep.
The improve. What are some things that some advice that you could provide to to someone that's becoming a foster parent or is a foster parent, social worker, or anyone working in the foster care system? Any specific advice that you would have for somebody?
The biggest thing that I think that would be a support or the advice would be that the greatest predictor of success for youth aging out of foster care is having that one support, that one person, that one adult that will be alongside them. So if we could find, and that could be the social worker, that could be the case manager, that could be the foster parent, but they need that one consistent, caring, loving person that would be there for them no matter what, if that makes sense. Be their cheerleader, to help train them in things and be a support, and hopefully by piecing all those things together, they can be the complete puzzle that could complete that child's family or support family.
No, it's interesting. You mentioned cheerleader. Now I'm trying to imagine you as a cheerleader. So
well, won't go into that, but in high school I was a basketball cheerleader, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
So I know it doesn't fit, but I get it.
My most recent book I wrote, called Finding Your Hero, it's about superheroes for foster children. And it follows a young child, it was actually me, going through foster care, out of his biological home and into a community where he has these superheroes. They were my foster parent, my teacher, my coach, and my social worker, and I wanted the kids to look at these guys as the good guys. So I think that's kind of what you guys are doing, and showing that, hey, there's these superheroes out there, and encouraging other people to be superheroes.
That fits exactly in with what I was just talking about. Your book does. That's very interesting.
So that's great stuff. Any other advice that you can think of for maybe a foster child that's going through the system right now? And I know you weren't a foster child, but with your background and what you've seen as a child, and now working with foster children, any advice you would have for a child going through the system right now?
One of the greatest needs, since I have worked the most closely with those that are like 15 and up, if I could share with them one thing and have them grasp one thing, is like, try and be a little bit more aware of what's going on in your future as opposed to what's happening to you right now. Does that make sense? Because just where you are right now is not going to define who you are for the rest of your life. This is just a situation that you're in, or a circumstance that you're in. You can be more than where you are right now. Again, I said it doesn't matter where you start, it's how you finish. Okay, so don't necessarily look at just what's happening right now in the circumstances you're in, but look about what you can be, and let that define you.
Oh, that's really good. For foster parents, and I know you mentioned the 6,700, correct, foster children in the state of Kansas.
Correct.
Now. And what did you say, 2,700?
2,700
foster parents. So what? I guess what is your advice from Bubba and also from DCF, or what are you guys trying to do in DCF to, or what do you need from the communities to encourage people to become a foster parent, or anything you want to talk about for foster parents in general?
Well, if I could, I'm going to do another illustration.
All right.
Because I know we like these, right? In all reality, it's for them to be that support. What I have here is just a Topeka phone book, and what I want you to do is, Jamie, I would like you to just put your left hand, the top left-hand corner, right hand here, and I want you just to rip that thing right down the center.
So you're going to embarrass me again here.
No, this is a training exercise. You do training exercises, right? And how's that going?
Yeah, it's not going too well.
Not going too well. Could you give me an idea, Jamie, of what would help you accomplish that goal?
Let's see. Why don't you help me out?
Strength.
Strength. There you go. That's awesome.
What about knowledge?
Knowledge would be great.
Maybe
knowledge on how to
do that. Somebody come along inside and support you. Be your cheerleader and say, hey, you can do this. You have what it takes.
So have Bubba the cheerleader.
Bubba the cheerleader come alongside you. I think that's the one thing I would like to leave with the foster parents or the people within the community, that they can be that cheerleader, they can be that support, they can be that person to encourage these youth that are aging out of foster care. Now it does help to have done this a time or two before. I have done this a time or two, but knowledge, time, and support. And if we can get all of these kids that are aging out of foster care that support, they can be able to do amazing and great things as well.
No, that's awesome. I need to wonder how long it'd take me to rip this thing.
We'll practice that. We'll train another time.
I'll go get a pair of scissors or something. Bubba, I wanted to ask you, and I love to read. Read any, have an insatiable thirst for knowledge.
Yeah.
If you had a specific book out there, or is there a specific book that you turn to for inspiration, or that you would recommend to some of our viewers today?
Sure. And if I can be transparent for a moment, I have a difficult time actually reading with comprehension. I do audiobooks.
I love audiobooks.
Because it helps me to retain the knowledge that I read or that I listen to. And if I do the audiobook and then read it as well at the same time, it's easier for me to retain that information. So just sitting down and reading a book, for me, it's very difficult. So I was just
probably ripping out.
That's right. So I want to just maybe give some hope to the viewers that if they have a hard time reading, if they can't read the book, try and find it on audio. But The Secret to My Success by Eric Thomas. Okay. He's an inspirational, motivational speaker. He was homeless. He's speaking all over, just giving an inspirational message and inspirational talks all over the planet. They call him the hip hop preacher. He's speaking now. So he went from homeless doing school assemblies, and he talks about how it doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't matter where you start, it's how you finish. It matters. He just got his doctorate at Michigan State University The NBA has him come in and speak to the NBA. Their teams come and have him speak and do motivational speeches for them. But I would say that's it.
And what was that one more time?
Secret to My Success by Dr. Eric Thomas.
Okay, awesome. Is there anything else, Bubba, that you can think of that's on the horizon for you or DCF that you would like to talk about?
Right now, we're really getting boots on the ground to raising the awareness of the need for adoptive and foster families, and especially the mentors for those youth aging in foster care. So I just hope that the viewers will take heart and see the need and start to help step up and help take care of the youth that are in Kansas that need them.
Well, great stuff. Well, thank you for being on
pleasure.
The show.
My pleasure.
It was awesome. You embarrassed me a couple times. But
hopefully encouraged.
Yeah, you can encourage me. There's a better word. So yeah, thank you so much for being on.
My pleasure.
And I want to thank all the viewers out there for taking the time to tune in to Dream Big with Dr. Schwandt, and God bless the United States of America.
Hi, I'm Seth Castle, owner of Castle Books Publishing here in Hays, Kansas. I've purchased advertising time here on Eagle Community Television to help support veteran-owned small businesses in our community. So if you're a veteran-owned small business and would be interested in using this advertising time, please go to my website, www.castlebooks.com, and click on the Veterans Outreach tab. Thank you for your time and thank you for your service.
Learn more about us at januscampaign.org.
Simon's tax, accounting, and financial planners have been trusted by their clients for decades. At Simon's, they take a holistic approach with a comprehensive portfolio of services for their clients. Make your appointment today and enjoy a better tomorrow for you and your family. Simon's Tax, Accounting, and Financial Planners, 1007 Cody Avenue in Hays.
Every individual has value and the right to be treated with dignity. Developmental Services of Northwest Kansas support persons with intellectual and developmental disabilities and are dedicated to the worth of each person. To help DSNWK give the best of a vast array of services, we invite you to log on to our Plan Giving website. It features valuable ideas on ways to plan for the future and receive benefits. Lives are transformed by your support of people with disabilities for generations to come. Developmental Services of Northwest Kansas.